How do you do? My name is Albert Walderhaug. I am an animator and artist for old Motel games. And here is our game, The Backrooms. I modeled and animated the biblically accurate angels in our game, along with some human characters for our game as well. I also designed the gas station and the church. I also designed additional models for our landscape, such as a motel, the terrain, did some atmospheric lighting to give more of a dark vibe, and I've even added textures for teammates' levels to give it more realism.
Hey there, my name's Szekely. I am one of the programmers for the Backrooms game. The Backrooms was originally my idea that I pitched, but it has since evolved into a much better game, especially story-wise. I am responsible for having made the subway level, which I did most of the modeling for. I also worked on the AI for specifically the rats and the mannequin enemies, and I also made various other scripts as needed. My level was inspired by the opening intro to Half-Life 1, the tram scene, and various Fallout games, and the DC Metro itself.
Hello, my name is Kevin Dodson, and I am an artist for Old Motel Games who created the Backrooms. When it comes to my design contributions, I created the main menu, worked on the cutscenes, and created the two levels, Grace and Mercy and the Graveyard, along with creating multiple assets for the game. When it comes to designing my levels, I wanted the levels to make the player feel very uncomfortable and make them focus on what's around them in order to understand the objective and figure out how to get out of there. In Grace and Mercy, I placed multiple mannequins to throw the player off and also to freak them out and to distrust what's around them. Is this mannequin I'm walking up an enemy? Is it friendly? Is it unsafe? I wanted to constantly figure out where I am in relation to the enemies on the map. I also did this when it came to the Graveyard level. I gave a big audio cue with the monster to constantly make you aware of where he is and how close he is at all times. And when you hear that music, I intended the player to constantly try to get away from him as much as they possibly could.
And level designer for the Backrooms project. I created the final level of our game that concludes our story with a final boss battle. I created scripts for some puzzles, interactive functions, scene management, as well as some other basic necessities for our game. I also created some AI for enemies on different levels, as well as created the boss AI for the final portion of our game. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you all have fun trying out our game.